All right, chat. We got to move on. We got to move forward. That's how it works. We'll hopefully be able to recover moving forward, and hopefully again it was another step forward for us, but time will tell. I am going to try to stack the AHL team really quickly with certain players who have consistently been in the AHL. Another Calder Cup wouldn't be bad. I mean, it would be our third. You let in a bad goal, your punishment's Milwaukee. Yeah. So that way, hopefully, Milwaukee can end their season on a high note. And, yeah. I am very disappointed in that loss. Very, very disappointed in that loss. I mean, the past couple years, it's just been some devastating playoff losses. You know, right when it feels like we could take a step forward. The Admirals are going back to the AHL's Western Conference Final. They'll take on the San Jose Barracuda. They got shut out in game 1, but won game 2. Patrick Laine is fully healthy. I don't know if he's coming back. Up 2-1. Now a 2-2 split. Down 3-2. They force game 7. And the San Jose Barracuda will play the Hartford Wolfpack in the Calder Cup final. Damn it. Anytime the AHL team doesn't win the Calder Cup final, it's devastating. And the Colorado Avalanche will play Connor Bedard and the New York Islanders in the Stanley Cup final. Jake, he did, but we lost in the second round to the Avs in 6. The Colorado Avalanche have won the Stanley Cup. That is the second year in a row that we have lost to the Stanley Cup champion. It was Dallas last season, and now Colorado. Well, we don't have to look at their roster. We know what it is. They beat Calgary in 7 and the Islanders in 6. Damn it. In terms of the awards, it's now 4 straight Stanley Cups for the Western Conference. Bedard has won 5 straight Art Ross trophies. Evan Bouchard takes the Hart away from him this season and wins consecutive Norris trophies. The Calder, despite the negative plus-minus, does go to Lindros, the franchise first overall pick for the Detroit Red Wings. Lucas Raymond wins the Conn Smythe. Chekhov wins the Vezina. Jack Adams to Edmonton's coach for the 3rd year in a row. L.J. Mooney has won the Selke. Interesting. Evan Bouchard, the Ted Lindsay, but Connor Bedard, his 5th straight Rocket Richard. Jesse Ylonen scored the most points in the AHL. He was league MVP. Mika Zibanejad scored the most goals. Blake Bennett was the top rookie, though. Okay. Antti Tuomisto, top defenseman. Clapperton, the top goaltender, the guy that we did not trade for. And Kasperi Kapanen, the MVP of the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack were stacked, man. The Wolfpack were stacked. That said, we have to decide on a stud and a dud of the season. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious. Stud-wise, you could factor in Cooley being our first ever point-per-game player. I mean, Korhonen keeps getting better. L.J. Mooney is certainly in the running. 62 points and a Selke. Aside from that, other players did well, but are they quite in stud territory? I'm not sure. Defensively, I mean, you'd be talking about York or Sandin. But now we know playoffs are a factor as well, so maybe Sandin doesn't land it. Darnell Nurse wasn't too bad. And then goaltending-wise, obviously people were sent down. So in the AHL, I mean, Noah Turner was phenomenal. Over a point per game in the AHL for Noah Turner, which is very good. Defensively, no one else took that step up. And then obviously certain players are listed on the NHL roster, but didn't play a game in the regular season. I will say I don't think that there's inherently a dud based off of regular season. Based off of regular season, I don't know if there's a dud. But playoff-wise, it might be where it drifts to Vasilevsky territory. LJ was also very good in the playoffs, but so was Korhonen. Cooley was not. So honestly, I don't think Logan Cooley makes it because he didn't really perform in the playoffs. Korhonen and Mooney did. Also, Blake Bennett. In the AHL, he was good but not amazing. I don't think Bennett quite hits that tier as being better than Mooney or Korhonen for stud. Jesus, for Demore would be closer to dud than stud. He was very good in the regular season. He scored 40 goals, but yeah, playoff-wise, he sucked. He absolutely sucked. Defensively, I think Sandin gets eliminated from stud contention because of that -8. I don't think you could put him over Mooney or Korhonen. I don't think you could. Yeah, I do feel like Vasilevsky would be the dud of the season. I do. You know, we bring him in for his playoff expertise, and it wasn't there. It was his first shot at the playoffs in almost a decade since Tampa had last made it. And, yeah. So, I think Vasilevsky can be the clear-cut dud of the season. The stud of the season will be up to you guys. It is either one of our two leading playoff scorers. Well, actually, Tony Korhonen has a full house of abilities. It's LJ Mooney. It is. It's LJ Mooney again. He has been consistently, he's been a former stud winner, a former dud winner. He is now 2 times stud of the season. So for Vasilevsky, it's fairly obvious he's going to lose his gold for being in that dud category. I mean, he's probably going to retire anyway, so it doesn't really do too much harm. So, there goes Vasilevsky. The big question now for LJ is, what is it going to be? And we pick a number between 1 and 42. It's number 28. Heads is a gold. Tails is silver. It's tails. God, we can't get gold abilities. Why can't we get gold abilities? Fuck me. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. It's silver schnipe. So he does at least get silver schnipe. God, imagine if that was a gold, though. Fuck. But it'll be silver schnipe for LJ Mooney, who is likely to continue to be a consistent part of this team. So that brings 2020, nope, not even 2031 and 2032, that season, to a close. So, expiring deals. We start off in goal. Vasi doesn't want to come back anyway. You guys ran him out of town, so he gone. There's going to be a lot of goaltending changes this season, I would imagine. Defensively, Matejchuk is a free agent. He'd be interested in coming back. That's pricey. We'll have to think about that. Oliver Bonk wants to come back. It's also not great. Darnell Nurse wants to come back. Good in the regular season, pretty shit in the playoffs. Mackenzie Weegar wants out. Good to know. Koski Ranta will be an RFA. Demore is an RFA. Svechnikov's deal is up. I didn't realize it had been 3 years already. Svech's deal is up. Ooh, and he wants a really similar deal. And then for the forwards, Logan Cooley. Fuck. Mooney's an RFA. Lindholm's oh my god. Well, I've said it before in terms of this is the biggest off season yet. It is still a gigantic off season. Absolutely huge. Because we have to decide who our future is right now. That is the decision that we're having to make. We know that Vassey's gone. Meaning that Jackson Like is, no pun intended, likely our starter. Outside of that, I mean, Cheng's going to be signed. We got a couple of goalies we could honestly let people go because, I mean, they're not going to be amazing. We'll see what happens with these goalies once we have to worry about it a little bit more. Defensively, can Vassey be traded? He can, but he won't have much trade value now. He won't. Nate, what's up? So obviously, defensively, we're still planning on Sandin and York to be our 1-2 punch. If we let go of these four, we're not in a good position with younger players. We're just not. So we're kind of stuck in a position of having to keep certain players around, even if they're not necessarily ideal. Honestly, we're talking like all four of these guys. We can't afford to lose our defense. You know? Especially with Mackenzie Weegar going. It's a rough spot. Again, some of these deals are going to be very expensive too. I need to know a few things. It would count as a big signing, yeah. I mean, free agent wise. Pending free agents. Nobody major. Alright, Kuzman, Bixel, Brustowitz, Ekblad's back, but we can't bring him back. I mean, there are some decent names out there, but nobody gigantic. We got to keep those guys around. The big deciding factor here will be whether or not someone ends up with a clause in their contract. That's the big one. So Denton Mateychuk is just in no movement clause territory. And because of that, I'd want it to be a 4-year deal. We are going to have to spin the wheel to see. It can be anywhere from no movement clause whatsoever to a full 4-year clause, which does not sound very fun. So if we were to bring back Denton Mateychuk, how long would the no movement clause be for? Stop. That's 4. Can I sign an 83 overall defenseman and then not trade him for 4 years? These rolls tonight, man. The wheels have not been kind to us at all. I can't sign him to that. He hasn't proven to be a major point producer. He was very good in the playoffs. I can't sign him to that. Again, like he hasn't been. He's like a 20-point guy, 30 at best. He played some of the best hockey of his career in the playoffs, but sign a player between 5 and 5.25 million doesn't require. Jake, it depends on asking price though. So we can't have that be like, oh, but with the 85% trick, it's lower. I base the deal on asking price. That way I can't cheese it with, with the 85%. I can still do the 85%, but clauses, I appreciate the attempt. I can't sign a 20 to 30 point defenseman for $5 million and then have to stay with him for 4 years. I can't drop it down to a 3-year asking price. It's either 4, 5, or 6 because he wants a 5-year deal. We don't sign him though. Our defense is going to take a massive hit. A massive, massive hit. Oliver Bonk's in no trade clause territory. Nurse is in no trade clause territory, and then there's Haig, who would sign for cheap. He wouldn't be a factor at all. So, oh, Matejchuk, why did that wheel spin have to go so poorly for us? I'm gonna wait to see what happens post draft now for most of these guys. I think maybe. God, this sucks. What a terrible spot to be in. I would say Bonk is worth it too, but he did nothing in the playoffs. Nothing in the playoffs. Like regular season wise, he's been okay. He's just a very well-rounded defenseman. He's not overly physical. And then there's Nurse, who we don't even know if he's going to retire. And then there's Svechnikov as a UFA. We'd have to roll for a no movement clause again for Svechnikov. And then there's Logan Cooley, who wants all the money in the world. Which again, regular season was awesome. #1 center. Playoffs was not. Playoff-wise, he was a disappointment. In his career in the playoffs now, through 23 games, he has been terrible. Do I want him to be our top center? I don't know if I do. Especially with Ness in the system. Mooney's on the way up. We have someone like Sullivan, Bertram. This is tough. Goalie's defense, he didn't have any line mates. That is not true. That is not true at all. I mean, say what you want, but even though Demore is underperforming, he had Demore, he had Svechnikov, he had Line. I got to put off these decisions. I just can't answer these questions right now. We need to know how the draft goes first. Or do we? Or do we? Because if someone doesn't end up with a no movement clause, they could be a valuable asset if they are under contract and can be traded. Fuck. All right. I can't give Matejchuk that much money. I can't do it. Oliver Bonk. Even if it's a 1-year deal, we'd have to be concerned about a no trade clause. So, really quickly, let me set up ye old wheel. to see just how bad this no trade clause would be. And again, a no trade clause isn't brutal. It just means we have to pay attention to the standings. Be a 16-team no trade clause for Bonk. That's not terrible, but also not necessarily amazing. And Sandin's no movement clause is up now, too. So right now, as it stands, Cam York, I believe, is the only person with a clause on the team. Oliver Bonk, it would be a 16-team no trade clause for 1 season, which isn't the worst. It's still a movable deal. I need to see if he'll accept 85%, which would be pretty nice just to drive this price down. Be about 2.7 million for the year. It's not bad. It's not bad. We'll offer Bonk that deal. Darnell Nurse would also be in no trade clause territory. That's if he doesn't retire. And it's going to be a low number. It's going to be a 6. That's a pretty good deal for us. That is a pretty good deal for us. There's also a pending deal. What could we get in terms of a discount on Darnell Nurse? About 3.8. For a third pairing defender is typically a lot, but he does play really well. Nick Hague is not in clause territory. Drop this down to like 1.1 for Hague. Bring him back. He played pretty well when he was in for us. And again, we already know Mackenzie Weegar's going to walk. So we do know that Matejchuk would be expensive as hell. I'm not totally closing the door on that potential deal, but I have to wait and see what happens at the draft. Demore wants $10 million for 1... Yeah, Demore's gone. Demore is an RFA. 1-year deal at $10 million. Demore is 100% getting traded. It was right to take a shot on him, and we did kind of rehab him. You know, he didn't do too well in Los Angeles, but we did confirm he's a bona fide first-line left wing. We're going to be moving him at the draft, for sure. 100%. Svechnikov. If I bring you back... Braden, what's going on, man? How's NHL 15? I know you're streaming it. If Svechnikov comes back, he's a right wing. Because we have Korhonen, Bennett, and Jack-Eye, who deserve those 3 spots. Bennett especially. He played really well. So it would be Laine, Svechnikov, Koski, Ranta again, which means we'd have to move out Turner while his value's high. So it is either Svechnikov or Turner. This would bring Svechnikov to age 35. The question is, would he get the no movement clause for all 3 of these things? As apparently we've been informed there's a raid inbound. From old Life Advisor. Life Advisor. What's going on? How you been? I hope you've been good. I hope you've been well. Good to see you. How'd the stream go? I can't imagine you're on the franchise side of things. Can't imagine. I appreciate the raid nonetheless. And welcome in, everybody. We play franchise in August. Is that better or worse than like Hut or Ishil in August? I don't know, but here we are. Welcome in. Welcome in. So really quickly, we got to find out Mr. Andrei Svechnikov's future. Easy for me to say. This is spinning for a no movement clause. How long? How long? Yes. Okay. We finally had a wheel spin go our way. So we can sign Andrei Svechnikov and not have to stay loyal to him, which is awesome. So we're definitely bringing him back. Life Advisor bringing the luck. Krusty, what's going on as well? Good to see you too. You guys finished some wagers. Oof. I mean, I hope you'll... Well, I mean, Life Advisor mentioned that you won, so fair play. I couldn't... Dude, I couldn't risk money on this game with how random it is. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But fair play. Remember when you hated the Svechnikov contract and it played out and now you're going to sign him to more money at an older age? I do! Actually. And he turned it around. He turned it around. 6225 is about the cheapest we could get Svech for. Again, doesn't get a no movement clause, which is great. If he sucks, we just trade him out. So I am going to offer Svechnikov that deal to be a right wing on this team moving forward. Down the middle. Jesus Christ, what are we going to do here? I don't think I can sign Logan Cooley to that money, man. I don't think I can. I really don't think I can. Again, we got some younger guys in the system that might not be amazing. It just scares me that Cooley's not a playoff performer for whatever reason. Regular season, he was great. Playoffs, you know, career-wise, he's been terrible. And it's funny because he and DeMore are two of the biggest free agents. Outside of that, it's McTavish. Dylan Gunther. Which means at best... I mean, Cizikas is going to be an RFA. At best, you're looking at a stopgap like Nick Schmaltz. Logan Stankoven? He's been playing with some talented people, but Logan Stankoven might... I was going to say might be a cheaper option. Holy hell, that contract from Dallas, though. Never mind. He's going to be asking for like $14 million on the open market after a 42-goal season. Jesus. Got Bo Horvat out there. A veteran in Rupe Hintz, but... Okay. Do we commit to Logan Cooley? That is the big money question right now. We know Mooney's our boy. Although he doesn't want to sign for that long, but Mooney's getting that money. Easily. He's an RFA too, so right now, at least for those next 2 years, there wouldn't be a clause. I'm going to wait for Mooney, though, to see if he'll up how many years he wants. Elias Lindholm, if he doesn't retire, doesn't get into no trade or no movement clause territory, which is great. So we can drop that down to a 1-year deal. If he doesn't retire, I'm perfectly fine with Lindholm staying for cheap. Svitov, typically a good fourth liner for us. He wasn't so hot at the end of last year, but I am willing to bring him back for cheap if he'll take the deal. Same for Carey Terrence, who just avoids the $2.5 million to be in no movement clause territory. Thank God. He wants a premium to stay here, though. I don't blame him because we've not been consistent with him. We'll see if he takes that. But yeah, Logan Cooley, it's a 7 or full 8-year deal. The only thing that could make me stay loyal to him is that no movement clause. And that is the big question. Even if I say it's a 7-year deal that I'd offer him to improve our chances of technically landing a 0. I mean, unless, I mean, I'm no mathematician, but I feel like the math on that is accurate. If we were to sign Logan Cooley, how long on a 7-year deal would he have a no movement clause and we'd have to stay loyal to him? Please, please, God, Jesus, stop! 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 Oh, thank you, God. Whew. Oh my God, we rolled a 0. We can sign Logan Cooley and we don't have to stay loyal. Oh, the Life Advisor luck is real. Oh, thank God. We can sign him now. I'm not afraid to sign him now because we don't have to stay. And the Infinite drops the no deal. And Logan Cooley will be hitting the open market. Let's see. Timeout, username. 1 day. Does that work? Nope. Hold on. Let's see. Timeout. Username. How long can I ban you for? What if I do like 6,000 seconds? Is that how it works? There we go. Enjoy the rest of your night, fucker. I know it's 6,000 seconds. Oh, the reason also says seconds. Amazing. Well, Logan Cooley's leaving. So that's cool. Logan Cooley is leaving. We just got the luckiest fucking roll you possibly could to sign a first-line center. Sure, a little bit concerning. But to sign a first-line center with no strings attached, can deal them whenever. Gotta move fast, apparently. The problem is, like, that's not one where I can be like, oh, stop negotiating with Subban. Like, no, it's Cooley. Okay. All right. Well, let's move forward then. Let's move forward. The Toronto Maple Leafs have won the draft lottery via the Florida Panthers, with the Pittsburgh Penguins also moving up. So trading draft picks is apparently a big risk. Trying to tell a story fucks you over. Yeah, well, I was going to say go quick, but I didn't want to jinx it. Well, hey, it is what it is. You know, maybe I leave the window of opportunity open for someone to dramatically fuck us over. Someone took it. Elias Lindholm is back unless he retires. Darnell Nurse as well. Nick Hague, Carey Terrence, Oliver Bonk, Sergei Svitov. But has Lindholm retired? Yes, he has. Johnny Gaudreau, Sasha Barkov, Artemi Panarin, Mark Scheifele, Mika Zibanejad, and others have retired, including Elias Lindholm. So, oh, that Logan Cooley cheap shot was indeed a cheap shot. The problem is they didn't even wait for me to put in the 85% to see what the contract would have been. Adrian Kempe is gone. Crash Andrews in shambles. Defensively, Aaron Ekblad has retired. Stop Forsling. Jacob Trumba. Travis Sanheim. Alex, wow, that's how far into this we are. Alex Carrier has retired. And in goal, Olmark, Korpisalo, Vasilevsky stuck around, which is pretty ill-advised. But yeah, Elias Lindholm, despite signing a new contract, elects to retire. He is our only lost player. Travis Sanheim becomes a coach. First time we've had a player retire and become a coach in a long time. So to the draft we go. Evan Bouchard is being shot. Oh, please hit the free agent market. Please. Leon Draisaitl's also being shopped. It would take 2 firsts. Fuck that. So yeah, no craziness for Evan Bouchard. At least not immediately. Brian Devon. 2 first names. Has Gold Relentless. Gold Relentless sucks. Typically. Let's just see for shats and gigs if anyone wants to trade out of a top spot. Leafs have 3 first. Oh my god, you're insane. Trade us your entire team. Leafs have freaking 3 first-round picks. The Penguins with 2 first-round picks. Okay, yep, no one's really serious here about trading. Good to know. Good to know. Philly, Arizona, or Tampa? Any of you actually serious about trading a top 5 pick? I don't necessarily want to give up Koski Ranta, but we're trading DeMore anyway. I can't imagine we'd get anything better for him. What can I get for DeMore if I trade him outright since he's going? Fata, Blomqvist, Weber. Okay. Philadelphia. You have yourselves a deal. DeMore and Koski Ranta for the 3rd overall pick. Koski Ranta's 21. God, Koski Ranta's good, though. He got better, too. Fuck. Why? Why does it have to be that? What about Tampa? What about Tampa? 5th overall pick. You have no other picks. Cornan. DeMore straight up for the 5th overall pick. So 2 spots down, and we keep Koski Ranta. Again, DeMore has to go. He has to go based off of his contract demands. It makes no sense to keep him. DeMore straight up for the 5th overall pick. We're going to do it. I think we're going to do it.
Taste the biscuit.
His old chant with the primer. You love to see it. Thank you for that. As that pick goes through, who would be there with the 5th pick, though? Potentially Beaulieu. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, though. I do want to make sure that there's nobody else later on in the draft that might be more value for money here. This guy's 3 years out, but does have quick pick. It is worth doing our due diligence here. This dude's apparently NHL ready. David Engelin, son of Derek. 3 years out, no abilities. Bowman apparently has abilities. They're unconfirmed. Russ Carlson, 3 years out. He's pretty average. Dylan Black. There are some decent players. Nobody astonishing. Again, there wasn't anything great there. DeMore for the 5th overall pick. We sim to that pick, and we take Gilbert Beaulieu. So DeMore for the 5th overall pick that becomes defenseman Gilbert Beaulieu, who is not quite NHL ready. It shows him as minor league top 2. But we saw you go fast there. Of course I went fast. Realize how just fucked we got losing Logan Cooley? I had no choice. Where is our next pick? Have you won a Stanley Cup? No. We have made it out of the 2nd round. 25th pick is our next one. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right now, if we were to hold, we're pretty good in terms of draft picks. Can I move Andrei Vasilevsky's rights for anything? Kyler Yamamoto's. Who cares? Who cares? Defensively, can I move Adams for anything? Nobody wants Adams still. Okay. On the right, line A, Cooley's gone. I'm not allowed to negotiate with him anymore. Dude named Fata. How good is this Fata guy on Philadelphia? Not that I necessarily want to get rid of line A, but if this guy's a younger model. Other forward at 22 years old. Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. And again, Koski Rant is getting better. If Svech is staying, and Svechnikov was, then again, it made sense to shop Turner for whatever we could get for him. Borgo, Rasmussen, Sharon Govich, Bo Horvat signing rights. Zach LaRue in a third. Zach LaRue would fit pretty well on this team now at this stage. I'm going to hold on to Turner for now. Right, left wing. If we brought back LaRue, then Jack-Eye would have to move. Although you could argue, well, if Cooley's gone, because I'm not allowed to negotiate with him anymore, we could run Mooney, Ness, and Jack-Eye at center with Korhonen, Bennett. Technically, it could work. Yeah, Turner's not going to be anything special. It was LaRue in a third. I'm not. Technically counts as a trade up, though. I can't do it. Technically, they'd be getting a higher draft pick than what we have. All right, there goes the 6th pick from Detroit. I can move Logan Cooley's signing rights, though. There's nothing that says I can't. 2nd round pick next year and a dude named Rohrer. Braden Point. No thanks. Alexiev. The only deal to take here is a 2nd rounder from Boston for a player that I'm going to lose anyway. Rohrer is a depth forward, but it's a 2nd round pick for someone I'm not allowed to keep. Logan Cooley to Boston. We get a 2nd rounder next year. Again, not allowed to negotiate with him. He's not an RFA, so we got boned on that big time. Big time, big time. Lawrence McArdle, the short king that we drafted last year. Just for chats and giggles. The problem is, too, with Bo Horvat, I saw him mentioned in chat. Expiring contract. So no guarantees he'd want to sign. We're not going to move that. Left wing. Left wing. So again, Jack-Eye could play center next year, and that would get him a higher role. I don't think Ulanov's really going to be worth anything. Solovyov? Can I get anything for you before your value really dips? And the answer is no. At least not within the rule constraints of our series here. So I think in terms of trades, we're pretty much done. Unless there's a trade down that we partake in. But for the most part, that's that. And we already have Ottawa's 1st round pick next year because of that defenseman trade, so that's pretty good. So the 25th pick is up next. We land Beaulieu at 5 for a left wing who I would have loved to have kept, but he priced himself out. Peyton McDermott, 3 years out. Pacioretty comparison seems like a risk. Gord Bolig, 3 years out. Confirmed gold bouncer. Jesus. Again, I'm not allowed to scroll down from here. I can't imagine there's anybody further down, though. I could trade down to try and land them, but I mean, Bolig having a gold pretty much seals it, does it not? That dude's got silver stick 'em up. I mean, Sven Weinhandel. I think we have our guy. We are going to go for the left defenseman out of Switzerland, Gord Bolig. So 2 defensemen with gold abilities in the 1st round. Not bad at all. Next up, pick 89, which is in the 3rd round. We didn't have a 2nd round pick this year. What do we have? A left wing, Walter Hope, who is trash. Greg Borrow in goal, who is trash. Kelvin Clough, who is trash. But then Andrew Regier is the pick. We're not even going to faff about. Confirmed medium elite in the 3rd round. We're taking the son of Robin, maybe even Richie Regier. The next generation. So far, this looks like a very promising draft. Pick number 95. What do we got? Davis Denny. Yeah. This might be a trade down. Elliot Hancock. Not looking great. Yeah. Well, no. We got Eli McCalt, who is trash but has a good potential. We're going to take him. We'll take the right wing, Eli McCalt. So far, in terms of potentials taken, we know it's solid. We need a center, a goalie, and we have our free pick. Chris Franco, unconfirmed, send it. Jimmy Banks, it's not great at all. And what else do we have? Zach Stock, son of PJ. And Louis Fachot, the 20-year-old. 3 years out at 20 years old. The alternative is that we trade down. Well, we know that's not true. No shot in hell that guy has that potential. It's impossible to trade down at that stage. I mean, 7th round, we could say it opens up. There is 3 out of 4 medium elite Thomas Backlund, but he's 5 years out. And then there was Bonks. And low elites, only 2 out of 4s. Nothing amazing. Nothing amazing. Okay. I mean, the trade downs are risky. So we take Fachot, or we try to trade down to like 138. Can I trade down here? $128. Is there a 138 on the board? 135 from the Sharks. We'll take it. That's our trade down. We got some dude named Beck. There's our one trade down. We retain 7 picks. We take the goalie, Thomas Backlund. 3 out of 4 for a medium elite. Not bad at all. Not bad. We need a center, and we have a free pick. My only concern, do I now have too many 5th rounders? I don't. Thank God. Just kind of pounced. Chat's got me on edge from the Logan Cooley debacle. So we need a center or a free pick. Technically, probably going to make Francois my 7th round pick. Center. So this is kind of our free pick here. Unfortunately, they all look like shit. They all look like absolute garbage. Is there anybody who had even a slightly impressive point total? Smobby at 17 was okay. That's who our scouts liked the most. Palapuz was an overager. Let's go for Jace, maybe Smobby. And then for the hell of it, it's the 6th round. I don't even care. Let's have fun, because we wouldn't be able to get this guy otherwise. We're taking Francois. He's the man. Why not? Let's have some fun and see how good that guy is. Otherwise, he just ends up being a free agent, or he's in the draft next year. I think we did okay. The having to lose Logan Cooley thing absolutely sucks. Landing Beaulieu at 5, though, for a winger we had to trade, is a pretty good bit of business. But I can't say for sure that we're going to be better this year than we were last year. But if Evan Bouchard is a free agent, we might have a chance.